Hey everyone, Happy New Year! We are Michelle and 𝗃𝗧𝗧, and we hope 2026 brings you lots of joy, good vibes, and maybe a little property luck along the way.
Yes, today we'll be sharing with you all the new launches in 2026, and by the end of the video, you will know what to look out for, what to give it a miss, and which one could actually surprise you.
Yep. So prices are set to hit record highs this year, so it's important to know what's coming. So think of this as your shortcut guide. No need to spend hours watching repetitive new launch videos.
Alright, for a start, we have put all the new launches in chronological order. So at a snapshot, you'll be able to see information in the columns such as the project developer, number of units in each project, the land cost, and essentially the estimated launch price, so that you can have a glance of what is going on.
Yep, and in this video, we will be showing you almost all the launches in the first half of 2026, and we've also color-coded them by region. Now this year, OCR will be dominating again, which is not surprising since the supply has been really tight since last year.
To help you visualize the prices better, we have put together all the prices marking from low to high ranges per region. For example, at the lowest range this year, we'll likely see Tengah Gardens in the OCR launching at around 2,100 PSF, and in the mid-range overlapping of Bayshaw and Chuan Grove between OCR and RCR, you'll see the prices going closer to 2,800 PSF. And at the highest range in the extreme right, we will be seeing Newport Residences going as high as 3,300 PSF.
Yep, crazy numbers, right? But we promise there are still some good buys if you know where to look.
To guide our clients holistically, we will be using an IPA framework developed by our team. It is based on 5 factors, with the first factor being on location and amenities, second one will be on facilities and quality, third will be on demand and supply, fourth will be pricing versus surrounding, and lastly, number 5 will be based on layout. As of now, we still do not have the layouts of most of the 2026 projects, so we will be omitting the last factor.
And finally, an overall score will be given at the end. So we will grade each project from A to D, nice and simple, just like our Singapore Nutri-Grade framework, with A as the healthiest project and D being the least healthy project.
First up, we have Costal Cabana at Jalan Loya Besar. It's the first pasture-raised EC in 13 years, developed by 𝗃𝗍𝗃 Realty. It has 740 units and the average PSF is actually 1,750. First up, for location amenities, you have Downtown East right beside, just across the road. Inside, you have your supermarket, F&B, retail, and all the fun stuff. And Pasir Ris Park is just a short stroll away. MRT is a bit of a trek, around 3 bus stops, so commuting via the MRT will require a bit of planning. Secondly, on facilities and quality, you will have full condo facilities, as 𝗃𝗍𝗃 is a reputable developer. However, only some units in the north will get sea views, and the other blocks in between will have quite a close block-to-block distance. Next up, on demand and supply, being the first EC in 13 years, so demand should be quite strong for HDB upgraders in the area. If you're hoping for a good school within 1 km, that will be a miss. Next, on pricing, is definitely cheaper than Pasir Ris 8, which is the most recent TOP project in the area. But however, if you were to compare with the resale options in the area, it will still be a little pricier. So overall, I'll be giving it a B. A pretty solid EC. However, if only this location works for you.
Next up, we have Narra Residences along Dairy Farm Walk. It's developed by Santali Realty and Apex Asia. Now, Narra has 540 units and the estimated average PSF is at $2,250. In terms of location and amenities, Narra is right next to Dairy Farm Mall. Now that's super convenient for groceries and coffee runs. However, the MRT is a little bit far, so last-minute travel could be a pain on rainy days. On facilities and quality, you can expect full condo facilities, but honestly, there's nothing that's super special. It's a smaller developer, so don't expect jaw-dropping design features. On demand and supply, the future demand for Narra will likely come from HDB upgraders from Tengah and the nearby estates. But 𝗃𝗵𝗆𝗃𝗍𝗃 historically hasn't seen much strong organic demand. On pricing, it's slightly cheaper than a few resale projects in the surrounding area. But personally, I might go for the Sen. Why? Because it's around the same price point, but the Sen is an RCR project. So in terms of grading wise, I would probably give it a C. It's fine, but not a standout.
Next up, we have Newport Residences at Dunearn Road by CDL. It has 246 units and the price point will be likely at 3,300 PSF. Firstly, on location amenities, it will be walking distance to both Prince Edward and Tanjong Pagar MRT, which is amazing for CBD commuting. However, you'll be surrounded by the office buildings in the CBD area, so you'll be a little high density and during office hours, it may be a little hectic. On facilities and quality, you'll be an iconic 45-story high on the redevelopment of the previous Fuji's Xerox building, and the land plot is really small. Still, based on CDL's past reputation, it gives me confidence. For demand and supply, it is a freehold in a CBD which is very rare. So it has a scarcity premium down here. But historically, the demand in CBD projects are a little weak. For pricing, it's definitely a premium that you'll be paying over the resale prices, which is at an average of around 2,000 PSF in the area. So I'll be giving it a grade C. It'll be a great project, iconic, but very pricey, and the demand will be very niche.
Next up, we have River Modern, and this is the last Singapore Riverview project in the River Valley area and developed by Guocoland. River Modern has 455 units with an average launch pricing of 3,250 PSF. On location and amenities, this is located in the prime CCR area and it enjoys sheltered access to the MRT and also Great World City. So it's super convenient to get around and that's a plus point. On facilities and quality, River Modern is a high-rise residential project with first-story commercial. And quality-wise, you have Guocoland, a reputable developer with a very solid track record as seen by its modern series projects. On demand and supply, we expect demand coming from families near River Valley Primary and aspirational buyers with very strong purchasing power. Now, one concern I have is the slight oversupply risk in the River Valley area, but that's not a huge risk. In terms of pricing, River Modern may be the highest amongst all the recent launches in the River Valley area, but it will also be the last and only project with about 70% of the units facing the Singapore River. So buyers who value this will still go for it. So overall, I will still give River Modern a grade A. It will be one of the highlights this year, referencing to the performance of the River Valley launches last year.
Moving back to the east. Next up, we have Rivelle at Tampines. It is an EC by Similian. It will have 572 units and the price point will be at around 1,850 PSF. First up, on location amenities, it is very rare for EC to be near MRT, and in this case, you have Tampines West MRT. And you also have an upcoming mall, which is with Pinery Residences right beside. Convenience is solid, though buyers might still hesitate because you will have one side facing the industrial estate. For facilities and quality, you will likely expect full condo facilities. Nothing very amazing, but still functional and reliable for homestay. For demand and supply, you will likely have a huge pool of HDB upgraders from the surrounding, as there are limited supply in the neighborhood. So your exit strategy is basically very safe. For pricing, you'll be slightly higher PSF than the ECs you have been seeing that's launched last year or recently. So the down payment portion could be bigger due to MSR. Overall, I'll give it a grade A. High chance that Rivelle will be selling out very fast once it has launched.
Just across the street, we've got Pinery Residences by 𝗺𝗵𝗄𝗯𝗃 and Sunway. It has 588 units and the launch price is expected to be around 2,450 PSF. Now, firstly, on location and amenities. Pinery is an integrated project with access to Tampines West MRT, and there's a mall. And within the mall, you will have a supermarket, food court, F&B, retail, and also an early childhood development center. It is also within 1 kilometre to St Hilda's Primary, Secondary and Temasek Poly. On facilities and quality, you will have your usual full facilities with standard finishes. So it's a reliable project, but nothing too amazing. On demand and supply, we can expect strong HDB upgrader demand from the surrounding area, given the limited competing supply in the area itself. Lastly, on pricing, if we were to compare this to Rivelle EC, there will definitely be a price premium. But the good thing about Pinery is that the owners can exit sooner when TOP is reached. Whereas Rivelle, the owners can only exit after 5 years MOP is reached. So on balance, I'll give Pinery a grade B. It's a pretty solid pick for east side buyers.
Let's head to the west to Tengah Garden by Hong Leong and Guoco Land. They have about 860 units and the launch price will be average around 2,100 PSF. Firstly, on location amenities, it is located right beside Hong Kong MRT, Jurong Regional Line, just 4 stops to Boon Lay. However, it's still quite a distance to the central region. Secondly, on facilities and quality, we have very reputable developers. They are quite reliable. However, some stacks will face the expressway. There will be a trade-off with view versus noise. As for demand and supply, it will be the first private condo in Tengah transformation. You will definitely have a massive pool of HDB upgraders in the area. Getting these will be a very big first mover advantage. Next, on pricing, it will likely be one of the most affordable private condos moving forward. And lastly, I will definitely be giving this a grade A. Don't sleep on this one. It's likely a potential dark horse.
Over in One North, we have Media Circle Parcel A by Qingjian Realty. It has 327 units with an average launch price of 2,550 PSF. Now, on location and amenities, it's a very peaceful, low-density area. So there's bus and shuttle access to One North and Buona Vista MRT. Now, it's not exactly a very short walk to the MRT though, so that's something that buyers may have to take note. On facilities and quality, it's a smaller development, so there's likely fewer facilities, but you do get Qingjian, which is a reputable developer with a good track record. And you do also get retail shops on level 1. On demand versus supply, there is a very limited private residential supply currently in One North, so in terms of the pricing and rental demand, that should hold up. Now on pricing, we expect the pricing to be very attractive for an RCR project, and it could be even cheaper than some OCR launches, which will offer you very safe entry. So overall, I will give this project a grade B because of its good balance of risk and reward.
Next, we have Vela Bay at Bayshore by 𝗂𝗍𝗄𝗧. It has 518 units and the launch price will be around 2,800 PSF. Firstly, on location amenities, it's very convenient because it's just right beside Bayshore MRT. And likely just one stop away from the future Bedok South Mall. East Coast Park is nearby, however not direct access. It will be a bit of a walk from this condo. Second, on facilities and quality, it is a mid-sized project. Developers has very good track record. However, the communal spaces might be a little small. On demand and supply, there will likely be very high interest from the HDB homestayers which are around the Bayshore area. It has good sea views and very good schools nearby, such as Temasek Primary. Fourth, on pricing, it will be a little high on the OCR side. Can even compare to the RCR. And lastly, I will give this a grade B because it's a popular location, there will likely be high demand, just a little pricey. Now we are back in the CCR. We have Dunearn Road near 6th Avenue and the upcoming Turf City MRT by Fraser and 𝗂𝗍𝗄𝗧. It has 380 units in this development and the launch price will be on the higher side, around 3,100 PSF. Firstly, on location amenities, you are walking distance to the MRT, but there are not many immediate amenities. And the project will be on a very busy road, so the noise and dust might be an issue here. Secondly, on facilities and quality, it's a small land plot. There will likely be limited condo facilities. Third, on demand and supply, there's limited new developments in that area. It is near top schools along the educational belt. And getting this might be a first mover advantage ahead of the Turf City redevelopment. So overall, I'll be giving this project a grade C.
Now it's time for one of the most anticipated launches this year, Thomson View by UOL and CapitaLand. It has 1,268 units and average launch pricing is expected to be at 2,800 PSF. On location and amenities, you get walking distance to Upper Thomson MRT, Thomson Plaza, lots of cafes, eateries, and even nature spots like 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃. On facilities and quality, you do get a huge land plot, reputable developers, extensive facilities, and lush landscaping. Now, the preliminary site plan has been released and it looks amazing. So if you would like a sneak peek, feel free to reach out to us. On demand and supply, Thomson View is 1 km from 𝗕𝗐𝗏 School. Plus, you get a very strong HDB and condo upgrader pool nearby. So that's excellent for future resale. On pricing, we expect it to be still reasonable for an RCR project of this caliber, though it might be slightly higher than the surrounding resale. So overall, I will give this project a grade A. Definitely a launch that you do not want to miss. Alright, we're moving on to the west side next. Lakeside Drive by CDL. It has 570 units and average launch pricing of about $2,500 PSF. On location and amenities, you do get Lakeside MRT right at your doorstep, and you have a hawker centre and coffee shops nearby. If you are commuting to town, you might take a little bit longer, but that's just life in the West for you. On facilities and quality, it's a small land plot, so you do get standard CDL quality, full facilities, but probably nothing too fancy. On demand versus supply, there's not much competing supply that's near Rulang Primary. Jurong Lake District transformation does give it some potential upside. So overall, not too bad. I will probably give it a grade B.
Last but not least, we have Chuan Grove, which is near Lorong Chuan MRT by Sing Holdings. They have 1,055 units and the launch price will be around 2,800 PSF. Firstly, on location amenities, there are definitely some amenities nearby, but most residents will likely still have to travel to NEX at Serangoon for more F&B and groceries option. Secondly, on facility and quality, this is actually too much plots to allow decent development of facilities. However, the developer has limited experience with mega projects. So executing this will be something that we have to watch closely. Third, on demand and supply, Lorong Chuan is a central location, very convenient. However, there will be a total of about 2,000 units between Chuan Grove and Chuan Park in the future if you are looking for an exit plan. For pricing, you'll be definitely on the very high side for OCR project. However, Chuan Grove is actually sitting on the fringe of RCR. Overall, I'll be giving this a grade B.
And that's a wrap. Here's a summary of all our grading for the 2026 launches.
And let us know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with our analysis.
And if you do want a personalized breakdown based on your budget, timeline and risk appetite, feel free to reach out to us at our numbers below. We would love to help you narrow down your options.
We'll also be doing a more detailed analysis for each of the upcoming projects in detail. If you'd like to find out more, so remember to like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified and not miss out on our subsequent videos. And thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one.